Hey guys, and welcome back to the Pokemon episode that we'll be doing. And this is Ben.
And this is Allie.
Generation 7, which is Pokemon Sun and Pokemon Moon. And I'll be covering the sequel to its Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. How this actually is playing out is that you basically are visiting your cousin from Kanto or something, or from somewhere, and you basically are going to a Hawaiian-themed region, the Alola region. Alola.
Aloha.
Yeah, I think they actually say Alola in the Alolan region.
So they say Alola?
Yeah, it's kind of weird. But also, I mean, this is the first time I'm going to say that I got mixed feelings with this game and the anime.
Okay.
Well, before I actually go too deep in Generation 7, I want to make something clear, is that I actually made a misinterpretation or misinformation thing. That I said Magearna was in the last episode, or Generation 6, but she's actually in Generation 7. Kind of why I thought that was because I watched the movie that she actually came on, Volcanion and the Mechanical Marvel. That's kind of where I thought it was Generation 6. So that's just only one. So yeah, let's go on to the sunny and otherwise calm Alola region.
Sweet. That sounds like a lovely change of pace.
Yeah. And
just imagine relaxing on a beach.
Yeah, and then getting your butt creamed by a bunch of legendaries.
Oh, dang it.
Which you're gonna be experiencing a lot in the story mode, because of how it actually works is because there's actually a lot of legendaries. In order, there is Cosmog, Cosmoem, and depending on which game you actually get, it'll be either Solgaleo or Lunala, because this entire game basically revolves around the sun and the moon. And also, there is the 4 island spirits, which is Tapu Koko, Tapu Lele, Tapu Fini, and Tapu Bulu. They are all the island spirits. And then there is Magearna, as I said, but then there is Zeraora, Marsh Shadow, which is marsh and shadow, not marshmallow and shadow. I forget the rest of the legendaries, but then there is a new type or new species of Pokemon called Ultra Beasts. Now, by the name alone, it actually seems like Ultra Beasts are actually Ultra. Yeah, they are strong. But thing is that they become more apparent in the games, more later in the games. And in the anime, they actually are shown in the in season 2 of Pokemon, which there's actually 3 seasons, by the way. There is Pokemon. There's the regular Sun and Moon anime. Then there is Ultra Adventures. And then there is Ultra. I forget what the actual name of the third season is, but yeah. And also, there's actually 2 teams that you have to be aware of. There is Team Skull, which, if you ask me, they are just a bunch of numbskulls.
Dang. Because they have a scary name, so I thought.
Yeah, but all they do is basically harass people and cause mischief. Whereas the other team, which it's not really a team, more of a foundation, the Aether Foundation. which is basically a ragtag team of people that try to make Alola a better place, and it's kind of like the Pokemon's version of a kind of a life preserver or something.
So they're trying to help the
Yeah.
environment and the society.
But there is the boss of the Aether Foundation, Luzamine. Now, in the games, she actually is well, in the games and the anime, yeah, she actually is a long blonde-haired, green-eyed woman, which she actually is, she just seems perfectly fine. She doesn't really seem that awful, but in the final stretch of the game, she basically goes berserk.
Oh no.
But in the anime, she's nice all over. Because after you help her, and actually in the final battle with her, she basically takes on the form of a jellyfish. Well, I should actually mention the Ultra Beast first before I go in other more deeper detail. There's actually like 16 of them, and they're in order. There is UBO1, then there is UBO2, Circuitry, UBO3. I forget that guy's that name too. Then there is UBO 4, 5, 6, and 7. And then there is Guzzlord, which is 8, I think. And then there is the bad of all bad of Ultra Beast, Necrozma.
Oof.
Which actually is in the Pokedex is actually the Prism Pokemon, I think it is.
Prism?
Yeah, Prism. It actually does look like a black diamond. And in the first game, he doesn't really do anything at all. But in the second game, they actually gave him a more bigger role as the actual antagonist of the game. And also in the games, he actually is basically he wants to basically steal light and try to make him more powerful or something. But in the anime, I don't really get it. Basically in the anime, he's still a bad guy, but he doesn't really take on his form instantly. He basically takes on the form of Dawnmane Necrozma or Duskwing Necrozma, which that is either if he has absorbed Solgaleo or Lunala. And he actually can make himself into Ultra Necrozma.
Oh gosh.
Which I don't know why, but again, as I said in the last episode, why am I supposed to even have him? He's basically the Pokemon of all Pokemon. He basically makes Arceus look like a regular Pokemon. He is powerful.
And you can capture him?
Yeah, you can capture him.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you can capture a god.
That doesn't seem quite right.
Yeah, well, now, because as I said before, that Ultra Beasts are really aren't anything otherwise seen. And also, I do want to mention this too before I forget. They've also added a new type of battle system or a battling kind of thing. Not like Mega Evolution, Z Crystals.
Z crystals.
Or Z moves, or moves that can be done with via Z crystals, which is basically a more powerful form of Mega Evolution, but it basically powers up the move, let alone the Pokemon.
Okay, so it powers up the move, but not the Pokemon?
Yeah.
Okay.
And how Z moves work is that they actually represent or correspond to different types. So there's Normalium Z, then there is Fightium Z, Electrium Z, Stellium Z, and so on and so forth. And then there are exclusive Pokemon Z crystals, which is, and also I do want to go over the starters before I mention some of the Z crystals, because they probably will explain a lot. The three starters are Rowlet, Poplio, and Litten. And then their final evolutions, I actually like. The Littens and Rowlets. Rowlet is Decidueye. And then Litten is Incineroar!
Wow.
Sorry, I've been playing Smash Brothers, and the guy that actually does it, he basically does it in gusto. Incineroar!
That is a cool name.
Yeah, and again, Decidueye is a grass type, and Incineroar is a fire type.
Gotcha.
Fire dark type, actually, and then Decidueye is a ghost grass type, which doesn't really isn't really done often, because they usually do like ground grass.
Yeah.
Or grass something type. But then there is Poplio's final evolution, which is Primarina, and I actually just thought it would turn out to be like a clown, or like a jester, or some sort of frilled thing, but it actually turned into a mermaid, a seal mermaid.
Interesting.
Yeah. So, and then as I said, I am going back to the exclusive moves that they can actually have. For Decidueye, it is the Electrograssian Z is actually Bloom Doom. I forget the moves for him, but then there is Darkest Lariat. The actual move for Farium Z is Inferno Overdrive.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and it is a pretty powerful move by the sound of it.
Yeah.
And then I forget what Waterium Z is, and I forget what Primarina's move is. And then there is Pikachuium Z, Lycanrockium. Then there is Ultra Necrozmium Z.
Oh my gosh.
And then his special move is the light that burns the sky.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and also I can give you one guess what his typing is.
Fire?
No, it is actually a psychic type.
Oh, okay.
And
Well, all the creepiest ones are psychic.
In my opinion, Necrozma is kind of a creepy Pokemon. I mean, he basically has this glassy stare, which kind of makes you flinch or kind of stiffen up, because he basically looks like something from another game, or like something from Android or Metroid. And yeah, and then there is Ultra Necrozma, which Necrozmium Z actually lets him turn into Ultra Necrozma. He doesn't really Mega Evolve or anything. You just have to have it on him. And I believe that Necrozmium Z is a psychic type as well. And I forget what Psychium Z is, but there are other ones, other exclusive ones. There is Marshadowium Z, I think it's called.
Do you know why some Pokemon have their own Z crystals?
No.
No, okay, just curious.
I mean, I think just kind of have some variety in the game, maybe. But and actually, fun fact: in season 2, and this is kind of when the same time after Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon has came out. Basically, Ash's Lycanroc can evolve into, because Lycanroc actually can evolve into 2 forms in the first game, which is the Dawn form and the Dusk form, or no, in the Midday and Midnight. Okay. And then there is the Dawn form, which looks like an orange wolf. And Lycanroc's Dawn form looks amazing. Yeah. I'm just going to say that. It kind of looks like a crescent or something. And Lycanroc's special Z move is a Rockium Z. No surprise there, is there? I mean, with Lycanroc, yeah. And then there is... Well, and actually also I do want to mention is that they also got rid of every single trace of, there's no gym battles in the Alola region.
Really? No gym battles at all?
No gym battles. There's no trace of gym battles. But the thing is, there is a replacement for that, which are Kahuna battles. Well, what a Kahuna is basically the equivalent of a gym leader, but it's basically a kind of a leader or something. Kahuna. I forget what that actually means in real life, but there might be some. If someone is Hawaiian then let me know. The thing is that in the anime and in the Pokemon, in the games and anime, they're pretty much different. There's an island challenge you have to forego before completing the game. So it's not really a kind of getting rid of gym battles type of thing. It's more of a kind of trying a new thing kind of thing. But the thing is that then there is the island challenges you have to face. There's also totem Pokemon, which are more stronger than regular Pokemon. And oh boy,
there's just so much.
Yeah, there's so much that they've put in Sun and Moon, and it's kind of ridiculous. The guys you go up against are actually your schoolmates in the anime. It's kind of weird. And also, I'm just going to get this out of the way. Pokemon isn't supported by Cartoon Network anymore.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Their new father for Pokemon is Disney XD.
Man, Disney has everything.
Yeah. I just wish they just kept it the way it was. And also, it took Necrozma for almost entire series, for a season and a half to even ever be shown.
Really?
And in the final stretch, I think it's episode 34 or something, where he basically made an appearance finally, and he actually has kind of changed from the games to the anime. I mean, he actually is a savior, let alone a destroyer. It's kind of weird. And also, Team Rocket is kind of in a pickle right now too. Yeah. Because in the anime, before, they actually weren't out. They weren't out trying to cause trouble or trying to have the devastation on save the world from devastation. And then, but the thing is that they do have a kind of a little bodyguard thing. Well, not really bodyguard, more or less a jailer. And that is a fairy fighting type, or normal fighting type, actually. And that name is Beware.
Really?
So the rivals I want to go on next, kind of odd, actually, because again, is that there's actually two rivals. There is the Team Skull's rival, Gladion. And then there is How, or H-A-U, How. I don't know how you say that.
That's alright.
But the thing is that Gladion is kind of different because he actually has a legendary on his team. That is something strange that I've always thought and will always ever think. Because Gladion has Type Null on his team.
Type who?
Type Null. Yeah, it's a weird name, I know, but he has a second evolution, Silvally, which I've always pronounced it as Silvally.
Cool.
But it's actually derived from Silver and Ally.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's How, which he actually follows the same rules as Generation 5's mechanics, is that on which Pokemon you choose, he will have the one that is opposite of that. So if I were to pick Decidueye on my team, he would pick Incineroar on his team.
That sounds scary.
Yeah, because... but it's actually not really dumb as you think. I mean, because Incineroar's typing is actually Fire Dark, and and then there's Ghost, Grass Ghost, which is Decidueye. I think it's Grass Ghost. It might be Grass Psychic, but
But something that works well against Dark?
yeah, Psychic actually does, because Psychic actually works on fighting, because of like psychics or like mental states or something, and fighting is like you're fighting or punching or something. But then there is and also Guzma, which is the team leader's Team Skull. He's odd. I'm gonna say at least.
Yeah.
Is that he basically is like this kind of a punkish, kind of laid back kind of dude, but when he fights, he basically fights in a kind of a fighting style. And he has a horseshoe crab on his team, or a trilobite, I think. Yeah, trilobite. And that is Goliathopod, because it's a Goliath isopod. And it looks cool. I'm just going to say that it looks cool. But also, yeah. And also, I said in the last episode that Zygarde would actually have another comeback. And yeah, in the first game, you basically meet up with these two guys that lived in the last region, the Kalos region. But then they went to Alola for a kind of vacation.
Yeah.
And they wanted to look for Zygarde, and they had a Zygarde cube or something. And I'll give you one guess of how many cells it has to take to make one Zygarde.
How many cells?
Yeah, cells.
Oh, I have no idea.
100.
Oh, man.
And then there's 100 cells and there's 100 cells in total, and there's 4 cores, which those 4 cores are basically for his moves. He is a Dragon Ground type, which again is something I probably wouldn't have seen in Pokemon, because again, Dragon is I think the most overpowered Pokemon move or Pokemon type there is.
Right.
You have to work with the games of how it actually works. Because of how you have to go through day and night. And when you complete the game, you basically have the option to go back to the Altar of the Sun. And you can basically warp through time to different time periods. So you can basically switch the entire game to like light or dark without messing with your controls.
Nice.
And it is cool. I mean, I actually like that concept, and I wish they actually would do that in Generation 8. Like you have a kind of like a time traveling kind of thing, where you go back to like old England and New England. I didn't mean that as a pun, I swear. But the thing is, we're kind of running out of time, so tune in next time for some bonus episode of Pokemon. Bye.